is Virginia and Tennessee. A couple matchups that I'm looking at in this game. Tennessee's a heavy favorite. They should win the game comfortably. But here's what I will be focusing on. I want to see Malik Washington, that's a wide receiver, slot receiver for UVA, against Tamarion McDonald. They're in the slot, the nickel defender there for the Volunteers. Now, Washington, Tony Muskett, new quarterback for UVA. This is really the only guy that has crazy college experience. He was at Northwestern, transferred, had 120 career receptions, 1,350 yards. And I think when you look at what he did at times last fall, he developed into a pretty dang good go-to guy, had almost 700 yards just last year by himself. So I'll be watching that. And then when you look at McDonald, decent year last year, but now as a cover guy, is he going to be able to take the next step? The other thing I'm looking at, we know that this is something we've talked about all offseason, corners and secondary for Tennessee. That group needs to collectively improve drastically. So I'm going to be looking at the perimeter. UVA wide receiver Malachi Fields, his best game ever was the most recent game. So maybe I'm a little bit of a prisoner of the moment, but he had 5 catches for 58 and a touchdown. And what I like most is his size. He's got good length. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. So he has a pretty significant size advantage over some of the guys he's going to be going against. Now, looking at Tennessee, they're probably going to roll their corners and figure out exactly who's up. You got Kamal Haddon, Danico Slaughter. You also have Warren Burrell and the transfer from BYU who does have adequate length at 6'2" or so. That's Gabe Judy Lawley. So I'll be watching that matchup on the perimeter there. That's when UVA's offense is on the field going against Tennessee's defense. Of course, like we've talked all year, what will Tennessee's secondary look like? I'm also really interested in watching Tennessee's offensive line. Now, Tennessee's offensive line was given a bit of a gift. Chico Bennett is out for Virginia. He was their best player as far as pushing and getting into the backfield and being relatively disruptive. And now stepping into that job is Ben Smiley. This is a good opportunity for him because when you think about what Bennett was, I mean, Bennett had 7.5 tackles for loss. So he's had 7 sacks. I mean, he's got quite a bit that he needs to try to replace, and it won't be easy. And you're going against some tackles that are a relative question mark. Now, John Campbell transferred from Miami. He'll lock down the left side. He should be really good. There have been rave reviews coming out of camp. They think he's in a good spot to secure Joe Milton's blind side. The other guy is Jeremiah Crawford. He's on the right side. So he started 6 games last year, played in 10, gave up just 1 sack. So he should be in pretty good shape there on the right side, but still relatively inexperienced when it comes to being the guy out there on the perimeter. And then the wild card in the bunch is Gerald Mincey, who played left and wouldn't switch from left to right because he saw himself as a left tackle, but would rather be a backup than a starter. Who knows? Either way, maybe he finds his way into the rotation a little bit at right tackle as well. But I'm looking at the edge defender, Ben Smiley, specifically for Virginia, working against those tackles that might be rolling a little bit there early on. The other things I'm looking at, just 2 more things. Brew McCoy, Dante Thornton, Squirrel White, and Ramel Keaton working against UVA's secondary. Now, Fentrell Cypress left, went to Florida State. There's still some decent players there in the back end for Virginia, but is Dante Thornton as advertised? Everyone's saying he's the next Jalen Hyatt. I got to see it to believe it, but I am a believer in the fact that he's 6'5", 200, and they've been running, supposedly he ran 23.5 or 24 on the Catapult GPS, miles an hour, that is. So supposedly the guy could flat out fly and has great length to transfer from Oregon, so I'll be watching him closely. Brew McCoy, he's probably going to fill that same role as he did last year. Very strong, very physically gifted wide receiver. Not crazy burner top-end speed, but very reliable, very sure-handed, and will be that reliable piece there on third down when you have to get an extended when you want to extend the drive and you need to convert. And then I'll be looking at who gets the first crack at it. Squirrel White, who everybody loves, got great quickness, got great acceleration, but I think Ramel Keaton's very underappreciated. Nobody talks about him because, the name Squirrel White, everyone wants to talk about that, but Ramel Keaton's rock solid. I think he's dependable. I think he's exactly where he needs to be when he runs his route. He gets his depth when he runs his route. I think Joe Milton will trust him. Got some looks there in the Orange Bowl as well. So I'll be keeping a close eye on the receiver core and what the pecking order looks like, but most notably on Dante Thornton there, the newcomer. And then finally, Tennessee's pass rush. We'll really be watching this closely. Roman Harrison, playing the Leo position. So I'm going to be watching him a little bit. And then Tyler Barron, Dominic Bailey at their traditional defensive end spots. So those are the spots I'm looking at. And then the second level defenders as well. Aaron Beasley, who I've talked about all offseason. I think the guy's the real deal. And he's got all SEC potential.